It's been said it takes 10,000 hours to master your craft. And I've been doing this for almost 28 years. And while I'm still trying to master my craft, some say I'm the best at what I do. In this episode, I'm gonna cram 10,000 hours into 2 days. We're gonna see some sweat. Down, 3, down. And we're gonna see some hard work. And we may even see some tears. I'm Bill DeMott. This is the Bill DeMott Experience, and I'm in Richmond, Virginia with superstars Mickie James and Aldis. And we're at the GXW Academy. And it's time to go to training camp. It's very clear when you walk the halls of GXW, they remind the students of wrestling, where it came from, where it's been, and where it's going. I'm here to remind them that it's time to go to work. 20, down, 1, press the ground. Down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down.
The whole thing came about based on, obviously Mickie and I live here in Virginia, and we knew about this school, the GXW school, and we had a couple of conversations back. We just basically agreed to come and kind of help out when we could.
It was very clear to me after meeting Aldis and agreeing to do this camp that he was concerned about how talent's being trained, the future of the business, and what's being taught around the country. So today we start off very simple, and Nick shows them how to run the ropes.
I'm Mickie James, and we are here in Richmond, Virginia. This is very close to home with me. We've been working with GXW for a few months now, and with the students here. And as I've seen that, and felt that development of going into this sort of role, pseudo role as like a trainer, I've really adapted to it really well, and it makes you feel good because you feel like you are helping change the future in some, whether it's, hopefully a little bit, and that little bit means so much.
And just like with Nick, talking with Mickie, it was very clear that it was time for her to give back. She wanted to return home to Richmond, Virginia. She comes to this camp. She wants to work with these kids, and she wants to prepare them for what they're trying to accomplish. Mickie James is going to do everything possible to make sure these kids are ready. If you leave here feeling good about what you did, and as for me, it's very simple. I want to break it down and make them understand. Depends on how long you're willing to go to succeed, right? But for the next 2 days, if you don't leave here with that same thing you just said, we're not good at what we do. But I feel like there's enough knowledge on this side of the fence. When you leave here, you gotta know fucking right. And if you leave here, that was the toughest shit I ever did now. And right from the beginning of day one, it's clear to the talent that are here who paid for this camp that conditioning is a priority. After school, leave here like that. Take 20 minutes on the car ride every day to go. Okay.
My name's Corey Patterson. I'm 18 years old, and this whole weekend was a really good experience for me. I learned lots of new things.
And that's the beauty about 2 days, right? You'll leave here today, what we talk about at the end. You have the car ride to wherever you're going, or home, or whatever it is, and you have stuff on your mind, write that shit down.
My name's Tessa Blanchard. These past few days have been really, really awesome working with Nick and Mickie and Bill. They've pushed us past our limits.
And once we get in the ring, before we do anything to each other physically, we're gonna break it down move for move, make sure everybody understands, and then we're gonna get at it. And that's how the process begins, because now the talent's thinking. They're trying to comprehend what they heard and put it into play. Write it down, because when we warm up and stuff tomorrow, we have a Q&A tomorrow, whatever, you have to ask that question. Otherwise, you're just don't put in the hours just to check a box. It's very clear that everybody came here to work hard and to move fast and to try to impress everyone right from the jump on day one. But it's important to remember, this is a 2-day camp. We're gonna break things down to its simplest form and make you understand why you do it.
I'm Bert Motley, work under the name Brendan Luther Alexander, and I just want to say seriously, having the opportunity to come to this seminar, this training camp, more than anything, I think I've learned my bad habits.
And in this camp, it's important to break things down step by step, from things like squatting and push-ups and crunches, and why we do cardio and why we warm up, to how important it is for everybody from a different size or a different height or different limits to what they can do, how they prepare for what they came here for. This camp is no joke, and we're finding that out.
My name is Corey Bush. I'm here with Bill DeMott at the Bill DeMott Experience. This has been one of the most tasking 2 days in all the 10 years I've been wrestling, and coming into this, I didn't know. I came to find out what par was and if I met it.
But you have to understand how much this means to me. To be able to come into a room with 20 cats that I just met, and you give me the opportunity to do this. Like, everybody should know that. And you impress for me, and I don't want to speak for Mickie or Nick. I'm impressed the minute you come in this door and want to do something in this business. That's when you've impressed me the most you're ever going to impress me in 2 days. And that's just what needed to be said, because the talent right from that minute on stepped it up. They slowed down, they paid attention, but they worked hard on all the things that they've been doing over the years, and some things that were never told to them. They started to take their time. They wanted to figure it out, and they were making the most of this opportunity. Mickie James, Nick Aldis, and Bill DeMott were here to help them.
My name is Deron J. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I came here to learn as far as getting everything as like theatrics and putting moves together, even the mechanics of a move as simple as a body slam.
And instead of just doing something once or twice and moving on to try to see how much we could do, we do it, we talk about it, and then we'd fix it. So these boys get sent to the mat to work on their in-ring on the mats first. It's about the footwork, it's about the timing. More importantly, it's about these two getting to know each other and understanding what was said before you come back in the ring and apply it.
My name is Mick Pandit. I work under the name Mick Drake, and I want to tell you a little bit about the Bill DeMott Experience. 2 days have been tough, and if you didn't come prepared, it's going to be a little bit of a wake-up call. If you did come prepared, it's going to build your confidence, get you ready to go to the next level.
People want to be brought in, but they're just telling you outright, you really got to make me believe that shit. Otherwise, I can do this at home. I can flip on. And throughout this whole camp, it's so important to me to break things down, not just to talk to them or talk at them, but help them understand and give them something of what I've learned over the years.
My name is Mike Kettle. I wrestle under the name M3 Mint Mike Mitchell. My money was well spent with this camp in these past 2 days. The knowledge and the information was beyond anything I can think of.
And I think this caught the talent off guard because they were ready to sweat and bang and bump and bruise. But we did take the time to break it down. And then the talent started to relax.
Hold me here, but I almost have that. I'm almost telegraphing like if I'm going to be...
Yeah, and we'll get into that. There's so much more to this business now than just jumping and flipping and landing hard and doing crazy things. You have to understand why. It's how you train. It's how you work, and once it's built in, nobody can take it away, and you can adapt to things, and you can switch it up, and you can go back to it, and that's what makes people smart. For the guy who's done the same thing for 20 years and just changed that little thing, and people go, oh, he's fresh again, and that's the smart ones, that's the smart girls, and that's the smart guys. And for the guys and girls that have been in wrestling camps for 2 and 3 and 4 years, and thought they were making strides, it's my job to remind them that there's more than just learning how to fall. how to jump, how to throw someone, and they need to be motivated, and they need to be prepared. And Mickie James is right there to reinforce all of this to the talent.
My name is Pork Chop Johnson. I'm about halfway through day 2. It's been a wonderful opportunity. I hope to use this opportunity and use some of those tools to further my career in the world of professional wrestling, sports entertainment.
And the more time we spent together, the more talent got a feel for each other, and the harder they worked. They rooted each other on. They were now training together for 10 plus hours a day, and it showed. The footwork was coming, the balance was coming, and they were working hard.
My name is Ariel Hall, and I am 26. I'm used to the mundane training and getting very lethargic. It's taught me things about myself and about how I need to push myself to get the actual results. And it's not just, me in there. I'm working with another person.
And once the talent have an idea of what we expect from them and how we want them to move and apply these things, it doesn't take long before the coaches start to get a little frustrated. And Nick breaks it down. Nick explains exactly what should be done and how he needs to do it.
My name is Rome. My boys call me Zeddy. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I came down here for the camp. It was real good, real tough. It'll physically and mentally bust you down. Bill's gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or you don't. Bill's gonna give it to you straight, so it's a good place to come.
And again, it's important to stop and break things down. No matter what the years of experience or what level they're at, we are gonna show the talent over and over again. And the good news is, we stop it in the ring and talk to 2, but there's 18 other people listening. The goal of this camp is repetition, to remind them of the simplest things, to tell a story, to be able to work with other people. More importantly, to be confident in the things that you do.
My name's Ross Hall, and I'm James Hall. And together, we're a tag team, and we call ourselves the Hall Stars. We've been here at the Bill DeMott Experience. And to put it in a good way, it does suck because it's tough. We've been taking a little bit of time off the past 5 years, and it's just, to me, this is exactly what I needed to kind of get re-energized and like re-pumped into pursuing.
Exactly. I mean, at times it'll have you doubting yourself. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years, but it's also, it's helped to motivate us, especially to see a group of guys and the people that come out to experience this. Like you said, it's exactly what we need. It's a nice kick in the butt.
And just when we moved on, we've done exactly what we said we were gonna do. We're gonna go backwards, and we're gonna refresh. And Nick gets in the ring with Gordon, and we're gonna break down the steps and the footwork, because sometimes what you're doing doesn't look the way it feels. And Nick takes the time to explain to everybody what it needs to be done, how it needs to look, and how it should feel.
They call me the franchise, Gordon Braswell. If I was to sum up these last 2 days in one word, it would be tough. But I loved every second of it. It was such a privilege to coach us, critique us, very hands-on.
Don't believe your own hype, but if you believe your own shit, you're never gonna get past that. If you believe you're the best thing going here, then you may become the best thing here. And in between all the work, it's the talks that I'm known for. My delivery and my honesty, and reminding the talent of what they came to do. You have to figure it out along the way. And in the meantime, you have to become a businessman and woman. But you better damn sure be able to know what you're doing. How to speak in front of people, how to carry yourself, because you have to do what's expected. It's more than just calling yourself a professional. It's acting like one. It's dressing like one. It's presenting yourself a certain way. And that's what I'm here to remind them. If they ever want to move on, then they have to move up. Leave the same way you came in. And all the repetition starts to pay off. Most of these guys and girls have never worked together before. They've never been in a ring together before this camp. And you can see them starting to apply. They're applying the words. They're applying the moves. They're applying the energy that's been given by the coaches. More importantly, they're starting to relax and do what they came here to do. You can see their confidence building, and it tells in every move they're making in the ring. And one of the most important things about this camp is reminding them that they're not going to get it all in 2 days, that they won't figure it out, but they can work towards something. And they remind each other they're new, they're learning together, and they will figure this out. You have to sneak that 30 minutes before you go to bed. You have to miss that extra beer, and you better master these things. And along with 10,000 hours in the ring, there's 10,000 hours of conversation. And this is where Nick and Mickie really step into play. They're current, they're superstars, and all the talent know who they are and what they do. And this is where the coaches take the time to stop them down again, to remind them of all the things they've worked on. They have their attention, their message is clear, and they have a great delivery. Everyone is learning from each other at this camp. More importantly, I'm learning from the talent, and I'm learning from Nick and Mickie.
But like that, I was like watching it go like, dude, they ate lunch, you know what I mean? Like
10,000 hours of doing something before you master it. It's these two girls that really pay attention. They're listening to everything that's said. They're watching the coaches, and they're applying because they know the level. The level of women in this business right now is at an all-time high. They know what's expected. They know what they need to do, and they're working. They're working hard, and they're working together. These two girls work as hard as any two girls can. 10,000 hours is 461 days. That's a year, over a year, to master something. But we don't have a year, we have 2 days. So I want you to think about the 2 years you've been training, or the 3 years you've been training, the 6 years you've been training. What have you mastered? And at the end of this camp, my message is simple. Don't be in a hurry. Learn this craft. Learn your body. Learn what you're capable of. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Get out and explore and get better. Sooner or later, we all have to leave the camp we started with, and we have to learn our craft elsewhere. It's time for these kids to build their confidence and get out and do what they came here to do. They met some people. They've got great knowledge. They've got all the tools, and now it's up to them. And before you know it, the 2 days is over, and we all move on. I met some great kids. I got a chance to work with some great coaches. And at the end, it's all about wrestling. So I said my goodbyes. I packed my bag and I'm on my way. It's on to the next experience. But never forget, this is what I love. This is what I do best. I enjoyed my 2 days at the training camp. Tell me about Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis, great guy.
Pretend he's not listening.